Things have never been worse for Donald Trump's Republican Party. The wheels are falling off. And it has just been so beautiful to watch because after Marjorie Taylor Greene's surprise resignation, more Republicans are following suit. And so much so that Mike Johnson is now being threatened with losing the gavel and no longer being Speaker during this term. Yes, so many Republicans are threatening resignations after this latest bombshell that Mike Johnson may not be in power by 2026. We are going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way supporting our work. Now, before we get into this resignation bombshell that has Trump and Mike Johnson terrified, I want to start with one of the biggest reasons why the polling that Republicans continue to see that just goes to show this is the beginning of the end.
Groceries, 85%, utilities, 78%, healthcare, 67%, housing, 66%, gasoline, 54%. The bottom line is this: Americans feel like prices are rising in each and every single part of their lives, rising ever climber, and they just don't feel like, Kate Baldwin, that they can catch a break.
The Treasury Secretary in new comments kind of dismissed the impact tariffs is having on inflation, also saying that prices are going to be coming down in weeks. Some other prices are going to be coming down in months. What do Americans think about that?
Yeah, they think he's full of it. That's exactly what they think. I mean, just take a look here. Tariffs raising prices right now. I'm going to come over Kate's side of the screen, 71%.
How dare you?
How dare I do that? 84% of Democrats, 74% of independents, and even a majority of Republicans. When you can get a majority of Republicans to agree with majority of Democrats, you know that the pain is being felt by the American public right now. The Treasury Secretary can try and tell the people something, but they can feel in their pocketbooks.
Donald Trump ran a presidential campaign of lies about affordability, about lowering your groceries, about making rent cheaper, about making energy cheaper. And not only did he not do that on day one, he has done the opposite on day one by announcing tariffs, by creating idiotic economic policy, by giving giant tax cuts to the richest people in human history. And the result has been people realize and see that Donald Trump broke his promises and broke them in the worst way. So of course the polling is going to be terrible. And it is infuriating to Donald Trump's voters when he sends his stooges out there to lie to them and to pretend that all is swell and everyone's really chugging along. And it's not that millions of Americans are going hungry as Donald Trump works overtime or did to try to prevent them from eating. And it's not just people not being able to eat. It's also people not being able to grow the crops and sell them that allows them to eat. Because really no one's been more screwed over under this administration. And certainly Trump's last than farmers. Which is why it's so funny even though it shouldn't be. It's just sad that Agriculture Secretary Brock Rollins got on TV today and offered up this lame-ass excuse for how many soybeans we're about to sell, or I guess we're not gonna sell.
We just can't do that anymore.
Andrew's got a question, too.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Secretary. Hey, how are you? Help me
Good.
understand this, and tell me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that you said in the White House, it said that China was going to buy 12 million metric tons of soybeans from the United States by January. We're now just about a month and a half away from that. They have, according to the USDA report, only made two big purchases, and they total, in total, 332,000 metric tons. How is that pledge, if that is a real pledge, and China has not confirmed that pledge, going to be made in that quick a time?
Andrew, thank you. We're actually about 1.5 million metric tons, but your point is still salient, right? That 1.5 million of 12 million, we've got a significant way to go. I know they are inking the deal this week or next week. Again, every sign is their commitment remains true that they will indeed buy or purchase 12 million metric tons or put the order in. It doesn't mean we'll move 12 million metric tons by the end of December, but it means that those orders will come in according to their commitment and their promise.
Yeah. Brooke, I don't know if math is your thing, but 1.5 million, the number that you don't have is not as big as 12 million. Those are very different numbers. And I don't think that we're gonna get there in the next. I guess it's a couple of weeks. I don't think we're really gonna move 11 million soybeans. So, yeah, Donald Trump once again has screwed over our farmers. And it's difficult for me sometimes to feel bad for those farmers who have been caught in videos like praying to God together, hoping that things get better. Because it's Donald Trump's fault and you voted for him overwhelmingly. But of course, we got a message that we got to win the midterms on that message. And it looks like we might even be winning the midterms before the midterms happen because the resignations are rolling in following Marjorie Taylor Greene. So much so that Mike Johnson, according to some Republican insiders, might be losing his gavel before we even have an election. Furious House Republican warns. More explosive resignations are coming after Marjorie Taylor Greene. A senior House Republican is warning that Marjorie Taylor Greene's sudden decision to walk away from Congress is only the start of deeper implosion inside the GOP. Greene, 51, will retire in 42 days, announced the end of her 10-year Friday night with a sweeping indictment of Donald Trump's second term in the party, supposedly tasked backing him. Her central argument is that Trump and House Republicans are abandoning the president's priorities, growing complacent, and barreling towards wasting a razor-thin majority. Several GOP lawmakers told reporters that they are also weighing midterm retirements, and another clearly frustrated senior Republican delivered a blistering assessment of the president's trajectory. This entire White House team has treated all members like garbage all, and Mike Johnson has let it happen because he wanted to let it happen, they told Punch Bowl. That is the sentiment of nearly all appropriators, authorizers, hawks doves rank and file. The lawmaker said he blasted what he called the arrogance of this White House team, accusing them of running members roughshod, and threatened while denying them even little wins, like announcing small grants or even responding from agencies. He warned that anger is spreading beyond the usual suspects. Not even the high profile. The regular rank and file random members are more upset than ever. Members know they are going into the minority after the midterms. The lawmaker then dropped the real grenade, adding more explosive. Early resignations are coming. Early resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel, and they will lose the majority before this term is out. Johnson's team counters that they are working with the impossibly small margins and doing the best they can. But the math is unforgiving. If Republicans lose even one more member to retirement, death, or illness, the majority could flip as early as 2026. What once sounded far-fetched now seems increasingly possible. What once sounded far-fetched is now increasingly plausible. And there is a special election happening right now in Tennessee. There are opportunities for Democrats to pick up seats, and Mike Johnson is scrambling. Can you imagine that it doesn't even get to the midterms and he's already lost the majority? Imagine what Democrats could do in the months leading up to the midterms with the majority, not just in the House, but chairmanship and the gavel on all of our committees. Imagine the subpoenas that could go out of the Oversight Committee. Imagine what Robert Garcia could do to this Epstein scandal as we get to the midterms. Imagine the devastating blow that would be to Republicans. And Republicans in Congress are saying it is going to happen, that there will be at least one more resignation, and that more could come. Because if it looks like Mike Johnson is going to lose his gavel, why even stick around? They would be depleted of their numbers. Democrats would do whatever they want. And what we want to do is hold this administration accountable. Bring Pete Hegseth in, Pam Bondi in, Kash Patel in. Hell, I bring them all in. Why not put them under oath? Expose their crimes. Expose the cover-up. Get more information about Donald Trump's possible murder of Jeffrey Epstein in 2019. Get it all. Why not? That is what Mike Johnson and his Republican Party and Donald Trump and his Republican Party are staring down because more Republican lawmakers are threatening to call it quits. That is how bad it has gotten for Donald Trump. Imagine that losing the speakership without even getting to the midterms. The worst presidency in history. The worst Congress in history. With a little cherry on top. Doesn't that sound like a delicious ice cream sundae of fucking karma? Got me salivating. You got me. Look at my lips over here. Just thinking about it. Give me one more resignation. Give me 2. I'm gonna get greedy. Give me 3. Why? Why not? We'll take all the resignations. See the smile on my face? This is what the collapse of the Republican Party looks like. It is so sweet. It is so delicious. So delicious and sweet, and we are going to enjoy it, and we are going to continue to call it out. And we are continuing to point out its hypocrisy, because it's how we win. And that's why Jasmine Crockett was slamming the hypocrisy of the MAGA movement right here. What once sounded far-fetched is now increasingly plausible. And there is a special election happening right now in Tennessee. There are opportunities for Democrats to pick up seats, and Mike Johnson is scrambling. Can you imagine that it doesn't even get to the midterms and he's already lost the majority? Imagine what Democrats could do in the months leading up to the midterms with a majority not just in the House, but chairmanship and the gavel on all of our committees. Imagine the subpoenas that could go out of the Oversight Committee. Imagine that losing the speakership without even getting to the midterms, the worst presidency in history, the worst Congress in history, with a little cherry on top. Doesn't that sound like a delicious ice cream sundae of fucking karma? Got me salivating. You got me. Look at my lips over here. Just thinking about it. Give me one more resignation. Give me 2. I'm gonna get greedy. Give me 3. Why? Why not? We'll take all the resignations. See the smile on my face? This is what the collapse of the Republican Party looks like. It is so sweet. It is so delicious and sweet. And we are going to enjoy it. And we are going to continue to call it out. And we are continuing to point out its hypocrisy. Because it's how we win. And that's why Jasmine Crockett was slamming the hypocrisy of the MAGA movement right here.
People truly believed your words, but your actions are not matching up, because I've got the receipts showing that they are not matching up. And so call us a little paranoid in believing that the hypocrisy may continue to come from across the aisle. Speaking of hypocrisy, I do want to point out, since we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, because we couldn't talk about Epstein before. If y'all recall, we were gone for about 2 months because we couldn't talk about Jeffrey Epstein. And now everybody wants to act as if they want to have like a real honest conversation about the victims and the survivors and everybody else. Where was this conversation a long time ago? And I know that y'all love to go back and say that Joe Biden didn't do it. You know, Joe Biden is blamed for everything. Joe Biden didn't do anything, and it was Joe Biden's fault, and why wasn't Joe Biden? Joe Biden didn't campaign on it. I just want to be clear. If y'all can run me the tape, then run me the tape. But you know, when you campaign and you go out and you make a promise, then we evaluate whether or not you actually meet your promises. So listen, this was rope that y'all decided to hang yourselves with because the president campaigned on the Epstein files while we were campaigning on things such as affordability. We were campaigning on the things that now people are complaining about, right? Because of the tariffs and the fact that you guys won't say anything and tell the president, hey, sir, tariffs are taxes. We as Republicans, we usually don't like taxes. And guess what? That's going to make everything unaffordable. So now he's going to be our big savior, and he is going to reduce the price of foods because he is the guy that actually increased the price of foods. So listen, if you can have this honest conversation about Epstein now, let's just go ahead with this lame duck president and be honest about everything that the American people care about. They care about affordability. They care about the fact that literally people are starving in this country because we have 42 million people, and I don't remember any one of you during that almost 2-month break deciding to go on faux news or any other news outlet and say, you know what, it is wrong to have 42 million people that are relying on $6 a day to eat, and we have the money because somehow our president was able to find under the couch cushion, the one that JD wasn't sitting on, under the couch cushion, he was able to find 40, how much did he find to send to Argentina? 40, there we go. 40 billion to send to Argentina. But those emergency funds, he couldn't find them emergency funds so that Americans could eat. So listen, if y'all are gonna be honest and talk about Epstein right now, let's be honest about everything that is causing y'all to lose real bad. Did y'all see the election results on November 4th? It didn't go very well.
But we will continue to call out these fools every single day on the show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.